So for those of you who watched my Ottawa Senators season preview video, you're probably thinking, well, what's the point of making a video like this? 7 things the Sens can do to get into the playoffs. Because if you did watch that video, you'll know that I predicted the Ottawa Senators to miss the playoffs by a little bit, to be in the hunt right till the very end, but still miss the playoffs by a bit. But if they do these 7 things, I think they will prove me wrong and be in the playoffs. As you know, the Sens have built up their team pretty good over the last few years now. They look like they're ready to take the next step, but let's get into the 7 things they need to do to make the playoffs, the 2021-2022 edition. I did a video like this in January of 2021 talking about it was the 5 things the Ottawa Senators need to do to make the playoffs. I was talking about that, but this year it's 7 things, so let's get into it. Number 1 on the list is improved special teams. Last year the Ottawa Senators power play was 26th at 15.5%. and their penalty kill was 20th at 79%. And while that penalty kill percentage wasn't too bad, it could stand to improve. The power play definitely has to improve. That's something I think that's definitely been a downfall for Ottawa for the last number of years now. You could chalk it up to a lack of talent, but last year not so much. I think it was just, I don't know, a bunch of new guys that hadn't really played with each other before and they were getting to know each other. I do expect the power play to improve this year. Throughout the preseason so far, their power play has been a mixed bag. It's looked okay some nights. It looked pretty good last night in Montreal, but it's looked pretty bad some other nights too, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes this season. And usually teams that make the playoffs, and especially do well in the playoffs, have good special teams, especially a good penalty kill. It's always been said that you can get away with a mediocre power play as a cup-winning team, but if you look at all the teams that win the cup, they always have great penalty killing. So that's something the Ottawa Senators are going to really want to be good at, especially this year. Second on the list is worry more about the puck than the body. I know the Ottawa Senators and DJ Smith have this mantra they've gotten into over the last couple years, especially, to just really hit every time you can. Finish your check every chance you get. For the Sens, okay, that's all fine and dandy, but if you have a chance to get your stick on the puck first, do that instead. I've seen instances where last season an Ottawa player would have a chance to get his stick on the puck and force a turnover. Instead, he would take the body. That player would take a hit to make a play on the opposing team. He would pass it off, and then the puck's out of the opposing team's zone. So if you're Ottawa, be physical when necessary, definitely. But on the other hand, you also have to go after the puck first if it's available and you have a chance to get your stick on the puck. And that will lead to much better possession numbers for the Ottawa Senators this year. And as we all know, when you have the puck, it's a lot harder for the other team to score on you. Number 3 is the young players take the next step. And I had something similar to this in last year's video, or January's video, I should say. The 5 things the Sens need to do to make the playoffs, but it was the young players need to overachieve for them to do it. Now, if they play really well, it's not them overachieving anymore. I think it's just them becoming who they really are. And while a lot of their top players are still very young, I think they're old enough now that it is time for them to take the next step and really take the reins of this team and hopefully drag them into the playoffs. Step number 4 is play the young players or play anyone who is playing well. Yes, there's been a lot made about DJ Smith having his favorites and stuff like that. We saw it with guys like Eric Goodbranson last year, even Josh Brown to a certain extent, not as much. But with that being said, if a guy like Nick Holden, for example, who I think has had a decent camp so far, don't get me wrong, but I'm just using him as an example here. If he's not playing well or whatever, don't be afraid to put someone else in the lineup in his place just because maybe, you're a bit biased towards him if you're DJ Smith because he plays your style or whatever. He's a big physical defenseman. Because really for the Ottawa Senators to be the best version of themselves, DJ Smith and the coaching staff are going to have to play whatever player is playing well at any given time. Number 5 is pretty basic, good goaltending. And back in January's video, I mentioned that Matt Murray and then Sens goaltender Marcus Hogberg had to play out of their minds to get the Sens into the playoffs. I don't think that has to be the case this year, whether it's Murray, Anton Forsberg, Philip Gustafsson. If those guys just play pretty good, I think that should be enough to get the Sens into the playoffs. And obviously that's going to depend on some other stuff too, like, all the other stuff I've laid out on this list so far. Number 6, and this is something that's plagued Ottawa for the last 3 or so years now, be a better road team. It's no secret the Ottawa Senators have had their struggles on the road over the last 3 years. They've played pretty good at home despite having a losing record over the last few seasons. But if they can be 500 on the road this year and have a better record than that on home ice, I think the Ottawa Senators will be giving themselves a very good chance to make the playoffs, obviously. And the last one, number 7, is stay relatively healthy. And obviously that's taken a bit of a hit with Colin White having his shoulder injury, and he's going to be out 4 to 6 months, so that definitely doesn't help. I'm wishing Colin White all the best, though. The Ottawa Senators, I think they have okay depth. They have better depth than they had last year, but they still need to be pretty healthy, I think, in order for them to make a true, legitimate run at the playoffs this year. So there it is, the 7 things the Ottawa Senators need to do to make the playoffs in the 2021-2022 season. Obviously, I'm well aware that Brady Tkachuk is still not signed to this point and all the drama that's going on with that. This list, though, is myself assuming that Brady Tkachuk is going to be there, and, you know, at some point in the season you'd think he'd have to be signed. I mean, I don't think they're going to let this go past the deadline on December 1st, right? But let's hope it doesn't even get to that point. One more preseason game tomorrow, and then the real thing starts for them on Thursday, October 14th. Let's see if they can put these 7 things I've listed down to use. And if they do, let's see if it makes them successful, like I said. Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe and share this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.